This story is about two brothers who, intending to escape their life of poverty, go to Saudi Arabia to earn money. However, what happens to them in Saudi Arabia is something they had never imagined, even in their wildest dreams. At the beginning of the story, we see Najeeb and Hakim at the Saudi Arabian airport. Both brothers have come there for employment, but their boss, Arbab, does not come to pick them up at the airport, and gradually evening falls. During this time, a man comes to them, takes their passports and says that he will take them with him. Before going with him, Najeeb asks him for water, but he refuses and tells them to sit in the back of the vehicle. After covering a long distance, they reach a deserted desert area. By now, it is night. Seeing the desert, both Najeeb and Hakim become worried because they had come to work in a company. Hakim tries to talk to that man because he knows English and Hindi, whereas Najeeb only understands Malayalam. However, that man sends Hakim to another Arab sheikh and takes Najeeb with him. Hakim screams, saying, "Do not separate us," and Najeeb also tries his best to stop him, but the man beats Najeeb brutally and forcibly takes him away in the vehicle. On the way, he stops the car and tells Najeeb to get down. There, he hands him over to another man and leaves. Now this new man tells Najeeb to sleep, but Najeeb cannot understand anything. Among a new place and unknown people, he feels very lonely. Just then, his eyes fall on an elderly man who is speaking in Hindi. Since Najeeb does not know Hindi, he asks the old man for water through gestures. The old man points toward a water tank and tells him to drink water from there. Najeeb had not drunk water for a long time, so he immediately goes there and drinks his fill. Strong winds were blowing in the desert, and Najeeb was shivering due to the cold. Exhausted, he goes inside a tent and falls asleep. But after a while, a man sleeping in the tent wakes up and kicks Najeeb awake. He angrily asks how Najeeb dared to sleep in the tent with him. He orders Najeeb to go outside and sleep. Compelled, Najeeb spends the night outside. The next morning when he wakes up, he sees the elderly man milking goats. He calls Najeeb, gives him milk in a vessel, and tells him to give it to the boss. Najeeb thinks the milk was given to him to drink, so he starts drinking it. Seeing this, the old man immediately takes the milk from him and explains through gestures that it is for the boss. Then Najeeb goes into the tent and gives the milk to his boss. The boss tells him to go outside and learn how to milk goats. Hearing this, Najeeb clutches his feet and says that he did not come here for all this, but for a job in a company. But the boss cannot understand his words and pushes him out of the tent. Just then, the man who brought Najeeb there arrives again. Najeeb gives him his documents and the company's number, but the man tears them all up in front of him. Seeing this, Najeeb is shattered and starts crying. Now he feels completely helpless and destitute. After a while, the boss calls him to eat and gives him a thick roti, bread which was half raw. Najeeb is very hungry, so he starts eating the same roti out of compulsion, but because the roti is raw, Najeeb is unable to eat it. Then his boss tells him to dip the roti in water and eat it. Najeeb now follows his boss's instructions. After some time, it is night, and Najeeb goes to sleep behind a truck parked outside. The next morning, Najeeb goes for the bathroom, but that man comes and snatches his water, saying the water is very expensive here. After a while, a tanker arrives and starts filling water in the tank. Najeeb immediately goes to that man and asks for help. He asks him the way out of here. But meanwhile, the boss sees him. He goes mad with anger. Then he picks up a gun and threatens to kill Najeeb. Then he beats him brutally and leaves him there in an injured condition. At night, Najeeb goes to the elderly man and asks how long he has been here. The old man says in a low voice that whoever comes here once can never go back. The next morning, the boss tells Najeeb to milk the goats because the elderly man was nowhere to be seen. Najeeb has no experience in milking, due to which the goats attack him and he falls to the ground. But with time, he learns this work as well. One day while working, his eyes fall on the mirror of a vehicle. When he sees his face, he is shocked. His appearance has completely changed, and he cannot recognize himself. He starts thinking that perhaps he will never be able to get out of here. In this despair, he climbs a hill and thinks of taking his life by jumping down. Standing on the hill, when he looks down, he sees several vultures tearing at a corpse. He goes down to see whose corpse it is. But when he goes closer, he finds that it is the corpse of the same elderly man who used to work with him. After dying, he was thrown into the desert so that vultures could eat him. Seeing this, Najeeb understands that if he stays here, he will meet the same fate. Therefore, he returns and tries to run away the next day. But his boss sees him. He chases him on a camel and tries to target him with his gun. Hearing the sound of gunshots, Najeeb gets scared and stops there. The boss catches him, beats him brutally, and breaks one of his legs so that he cannot run away again. It becomes night, and Najeeb with great difficulty unties his bound hands and drinks water. Time keeps passing, and his life continues in this torment. A long time passes. One day he is grazing goats in the desert when suddenly it starts raining. He takes his goats and takes shelter in a cave. After a while he hears someone's voice. He comes out of the cave and goes toward that sound. A little distance away he sees a man, and when he goes closer he is shocked. That man is none other than his brother Hakim. Seeing each other, both run and hug, crying loudly. They cannot believe that they are meeting each other after so many years. Hakim tells him that he was also forced to work in different places, and was tortured a lot. Just then a vehicle is seen coming from afar. Hakim says fearfully that his boss has arrived, and he immediately leaves. The next morning when Najeeb is taking the camels, Hakim secretly comes there and gives him a letter before leaving. Najeeb opens the letter. It is written in the letter that where Hakim works there is a man named Ibrahim who knows all the routes of the desert and is ready to help them. With his help, they can escape from here. After a few days, Najeeb, Hakim, and Ibrahim meet at a place. Ibrahim tells them that in a few days, it is the big boss's daughter's wedding, and everyone will be there that day. This will be a perfect opportunity for them to escape. Some time passes, and finally, that day arrives. Najeeb's boss tells him that he is going to the wedding for 2 days, and tells him to take care of the sheep. As soon as the boss leaves, Najeeb first takes a bath, because he had not bathed for months. After that he wears the same old clothes in which he had come here. But now his pants have become very loose, so he fixes them by tying a rope. The next morning he gives fodder to the sheep and says softly, "I am leaving from here now and will never come back again." Just then, Hakim and Ibrahim arrive there, and then all three secretly leave from there. The journey begins, and as they walk it becomes night. All three are very tired but do not lose heart and keep walking. On the way they see a caravan resting. Ibrahim goes to them for water, but the people sitting there open fire on them. Because of this, all three run away to save their lives. After a while it is night, and the next morning both Najeeb and Hakim feel severe thirst. Hakim asks Ibrahim anxiously where the path is, as only desert is visible everywhere. Ibrahim says that they have lost the way and are going in the wrong direction. While they are talking among themselves, Hakim sees a camel drinking water in the distance. He runs toward it like a madman, but Ibrahim stops him and says there is no water, it is just his illusion. When Hakim reaches there he sees a dead camel lying there. Well, all three start moving forward again, and at one place they stop for prayers. Just then many poisonous desert snakes come out of the ground. Ibrahim immediately pulls Hakim to save him, but Najeeb's leg was already broken so he cannot run fast. Ibrahim tells him not to move at all and stand quietly. The snakes pass over Najeeb's feet, but he is saved. Well, this difficulty also ends for them, and they move forward. While walking, blisters form on Najeeb's feet, due to which he cannot walk any further. Ibrahim uses his brain and takes off his jacket to tie it on his feet. After a while, both brothers fall down again because they had not drunk water for several days. All three feel severe thirst. Ibrahim keeps giving them courage. Hakim is completely exhausted, so Ibrahim carries him on his shoulder. But after going some distance, Najeeb also falls. Both brothers go into an unconscious state. Compelled, Ibrahim brings them to consciousness by feeding them his sweat, and all three slowly keep moving forward. After some time, Hakim regains consciousness and sees a city in the distance. Najeeb tries to stop him, but Hakim pushes him and moves forward and suddenly falls. Blood starts coming out of his mouth. Najeeb tries his best to save his brother, but Hakim's breath stops. Seeing this, Najeeb is shattered and starts crying. Just then, a dangerous sandstorm rises in the desert. Ibrahim saves Najeeb and takes him forward, but both get stuck in the storm. After a while the storm stops and now Najeeb wakes up and calls his brother, but his corpse was buried under the sand. Ibrahim tells Najeeb that if they want to stay alive they must leave Hakim and move forward. Both start the journey again, and by now, while walking, it becomes evening. At one place, they see some trees and water in the distance. Both run toward it like madmen, but Ibrahim stops Najeeb and says do not drink water directly, it could be poisonous. Then he says he has a way. He dips a cloth in water and feeds a little water to Najeeb and drinks it himself too. There they also find an empty bottle with which Ibrahim makes a sound to get someone's attention. After a while they see birds flying in the sky. Ibrahim understands that this is the right path, and now both set off in the same direction from where the birds had flown. Gradually it starts getting dark and Najeeb's condition has become very bad, so they stop there and sleep. Now the next morning when Najeeb's eyes open, he sees that Ibrahim is not there. Only a water bottle is lying near him, which Ibrahim had left for him. Now Najeeb continues the journey alone in the desert. Hunger and thirst have made him weak, and he is also having severe pain in his legs. He drinks water from the bottle, and just then he hears the sound of vehicles from a distance. He immediately runs toward that side and sees that he has reached a highway. Najeeb stands for hours on the highway for help, and tries to stop the vehicles passing by, but no one stops. The whole night passes, and now the next morning Najeeb is seen walking in the middle of the road. Just then a car comes and stops near him. This car belongs to a sheikh. He makes Najeeb sit in his car and gives him water to drink. The sheikh takes him to the city and drops him in front of an Indian hotel. The hotel owner is a very kind-hearted person who helps people in trouble. He bathes Najeeb, gets his hair cut, and takes care of him. Najeeb's health is very bad, so he calls a doctor and gets him treated, and after resting all night, Najeeb feels a bit better. The hotel owner tells him that his family has been contacted through the address he provided. Then he makes Najeeb talk to his family. On hearing his family's voice, Najeeb starts crying a lot. After this, he is taken to the police station so that formalities can be completed, and he can be sent back. Those who do not have documents are kept in jail for 3 months. Some people come to the jail who recognize those who have run away from their company or boss. Often bosses take their slaves back. Just then Najeeb's eyes fall on the man who had forcibly made him a slave. That man comes to Najeeb and stops for a few moments. Najeeb gets scared that he might take him back to the desert again, but that sheikh puts his hand on his head and says that you ran away from me, that's fine, but if I had officially sponsored you, I would have taken you back and punished you. Then he says that you were not actually my man, I just didn't find anyone else, so I kept you. Saying this much, he leaves. Najeeb is still scared. Then a man explains to him that the sheikh had not officially sponsored you, that's why he didn't take you back. Actually, you had come on the wrong visa, that's why you got stuck in this trouble. But now you can go back to your home. Hearing this, Najeeb sits there and starts crying. In the next scene, we see Najeeb going toward the plane. He says that when someone goes abroad, he brings gifts for his family members, but I have only my remaining life to give to my wife and son. With this wonderful story ends right